drive. When I first moved to Houston, Texas, I was nervous about driving. The cars were huge and the streets were wide. I got my American driver's license and I felt more comfortable with the traffic on the city. I learned to drive my car naturally in Houston and life got easier. However, I was very surprised when I visited El Salvador. 2 years after, I discovered that I was afraid to drive in San Salvador, my own hometown. I realized that there are major differences between driving in the United States of America and driving in my country, El Salvador. The streets, the driver behavior, and the respect for the traffic rules. The difference starts with the way that the streets are organized. In San Salvador, the streets are narrow because they are used for pedestrian sellers or as alley for walking. Fortunately, the cars used are smaller too. In Houston, the streets are very wide, and there are freeways to go around the city. In contrast, in San Salvador, almost the streets have only one line for eastbound. The biggest difference is the way the driver behaves in each city. In San Salvador, drivers pay attention to other drivers but not the rules. The cars and taxis and public transportation move from line to line as a snake or fish and pushing the traffic bound. When the traffic is slow, the drivers go through the red line without stopping, and they do not wait the light to make a left turn. This is no surprise while the drivers turning left make a honk. The law of the strongest is applying in these cases. Unlike the Salvadorian drivers, Houston drivers always respect the traffic rules, but they do not pay as much attention to other drivers. The Houstonians stay in their lines or use their signals when they want to change lines. They stop and wait for turn or green light, and they almost always stop at the stop signs, even there are no other cars around. They are surprised by the people that do not respect the traffic rules, and they are angry with the driver driving between the lines. When I visited El Salvador, I discovered that I had changed. I was more like a Houstonian driver. I was waiting for the people to follow the signals, and I did not pay attention to other drivers. I almost had an accident. For all these reasons, I realized that there are major differences between driving in the United States of America and driving in El Salvador. That's my essay.